fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, we had Deku. And well, quite a bit of things have happened for him and the survivors of Class 1A and B. Now, the survivors, they did make it to the support course classroom. However, they did encounter a zombie Todoroki, and Deku had to put him down. Now, once they did arrive to the classroom, they were let in by the students who were still alive in there, as they did have to try and convince them that they weren't infected. Now, Deku, he was seen as very suspicious. He has a bandage on his arm, a bloody pipe in his hands, and blood all over his pants. Now, they did actually give Deku at least a jumpsuit they did have lying around. And Deku did just change out his clothes, or just take off his pants and then put the jumpsuit on. Him tying it around his waist and wearing them that way. As, yeah, he does at least have somebody else's shirt on as well. He's wearing a black tank top. And Deku, he's just kind of weirded out by this. It feels weird. He knows he's at school and everything is going wrong and everything's bad right now, but it's just strange to him. Now, Deku tried to call his parents, or at least his mother, as he got no response. And they did try to brainstorm exactly what they could do to get out of here. The members of this classroom, they're planning to just stay here until heroes can arrive. However, Deku is aware that the heroes are the ones who are infected, and are the most likely to be zombies. Now, this was very bad, and it did pose a whole lot of questions that Deku wished he could answer. Now, Deku, he did then at least hear Hatsume's idea for a plan. She was trying to create a grappling hook to get out of here. However, they don't have the material to make a hook. They do have it lying around, but other students have already claimed the materials as their own, and they will not give them to Hatsume for her stupid plan. Now, this is the problem. Nobody's trying to work together. Many of them are dead set on just making sure this is the hero's problem. They'll come here and save them. They're not pro-heroes. They're not trained for any of this. They just sit in the workshop all day and tinker with tools. That's what they do. And that's what they just plan to do until someone can help them. Now, there was even a plan where Hatsume suggested either they find a way to get the resources, or someone can climb outside and go outside the building and tie the rope up there. Now, this was an idea that they did have. And Kirishima actually did talk about how he himself can go up there, since, well, he has to. It'd be very unmanly if he didn't volunteer and take a risk if it meant saving everybody. And it was very strange. Now, everyone, they've already talked to Kirishima about this. He knows for a fact that using his quirk, it is a bad idea here. However, it's also risky to not use it. So, he's tried asking Deku the question, would it be possible for him to use his quirk to get up the side of the building? And if it was, what would happen after that? Now, Deku didn't really know what to tell Kirishima. Many different solutions or problems could arise from this. Kirishima can try and use his quirk. His quirk does harden his entire body. However, it doesn't do anything other than that. Either his hand will be stuck like that, which wouldn't really be a problem right now, or his quirk will activate randomly. That or anytime he does try to activate his quirk and it does turn off, there's a chance that Kirishima might start his infection. Now, they're not exactly too sure. Deku, he's come up with millions of ideas about what could happen. Kirishima falls and, well, gets eaten, and many other things could happen to him. But that's just it. Now, Momo, she actually going to speak up, talking about how she can take a chance with her quirk. Now, everyone did look at her, as she's basically talking about trying to create this grappling hook. Now, this was where May did ask her if she really does think that that's a good idea, if what this guy over here is saying is to be believed. Well, I don't exactly understand it. But we can't just sit here and do nothing. I feel useless right now. If I don't do something that I can do to try and save everyone, I shouldn't even really be in this school, you know? Momo, correct? I don't think that's such a good idea right now. Listen, we don't know what would happen if you try to use your quirk. We saw what happened with Bakugo. And, well, I don't know. Your quirk only works on your skin, right? Yes. So, if you were to try to create something that gets stuck in your skin, what will we have to do? Now, Momo just does go to look down at her hand, as her idea of making the grappling hook actually does get her to somewhat freeze. That's a very bad idea. Whenever she does make materials, they form from the bottom layer of her skin and rise to the top as she does continue to make them. But if that does happen, if she does try to create something and her quirk does go haywire, that's, well, not a good idea either. Now, a, well, terrifying thought does pop into her head. If her quirk does go haywire, what would happen? Would it just turn off, freeze, or stop? Would she have something stuck in her hand, or would her body expel as much things as it can try to create, and leave her a withered husk of skin? Now, that thought actually did terrify her, and she did just look back towards the door. Now, everyone, yeah, they're trying their best. The plan with Kirishima is really the only one they do have. Now, this is the thing that actually is strange to them. And there actually is where Deku, he's just trying to think. As he does actually have an idea pop into his head. Now, Deku, he does actually turn directly towards Momo, as he does whisper this idea into her ear. Now, we actually do have where Deku, he does watch as Momo, she actually does have some wheels start to turn in her mind. Now, as that does actually happen, we do have our Momo, she's actually going to stand up and open her mouth. Alright, I have a bit of a proposition for any one of you. What would that be? There's no television in this classroom, is there? Well, no. Why is that? Well, there's one in the teacher's lounge. We'll tell you exactly where it is, if someone can give us the materials we need. Now, a lot of people do actually look at each other. A television? That's right, they don't have any idea what's going on in there. Out there. Now, a lot of the students, they actually do start looking towards Class 1A. As you actually were, a few people do actually go to reach out and hold out pieces of metal, talking about how they'll take the television, And they'll always try to use it for something. Hmm? What do you mean use it for something? We all need it. Don't be stupid. We can salvage parts from it. Besides, we can at least try something else, correct or no? Now, these people are arguing back and forth. As we actually have where Deku just watched Momo could actually walk over to a table directly past a few people. Her going to reach out and grab something. As Jiro is going to walk over to another table and do the exact same thing. Now, with that being said, we actually do then have where they do walk back over to Mei Hatsume. And these two do at least hand over the pieces of metal that they've gotten. Now, Hatsume she does look at these two pieces of metal. As she does talk about how these are exactly the types of things she did need. They'll at least work for getting them down from here. However, as for another thing, they can figure that out later. Now, you do actually have people that actually do talk about how that was a good thing on their part. And they do talk about how that wasn't them, that was actually Midoriya. Oh, well, I mean, it was just an idea, right? Besides, getting out there is going to be the real challenge for them. They don't know about the ice, though. I do feel bad about that part. Well, just don't tell them about that. It's going to melt eventually, right? So, we'll at least have a bit of a head start. Now, you do actually have May, who's just going to bolt down these pieces of metal and go to actually try to start bending them. As they do, watch her quickly start to work. As she does bend the pieces of metal a certain way, and go to undo them from the clamp, do the other side, and they actually go to walk over and turn on a welder. As she start to weld the pieces together. Now, you do actually watch she is going to actually weld another piece on, and I'm going to actually slide the rope through and attach it and tie it around. As she is going to actually weld those pieces, or at least the metal, together. Now, everyone they do watch May work. And yeah, she actually got to do that pretty fast. As everyone, they did actually turn to see May working on something. And they realized she was working on that contraption once more. Now, you do actually have where May does go to walk over towards the window. And she does actually go to lean outwards and look up. As she just trying to think. Okay, that's about how high up? Now, you do actually have where she does ask if anyone can try to shoot it. What are you talking about? Well, they had to shoot it. How else is the grappling hook supposed to work? You could try throwing it, but I don't think that would work either. Now, Deku, he does go and walk over to May, asking exactly what does she mean. Well, it has to get up there somehow. Besides, I mean, just look. Now, Deku does see exactly what she's talking about, as it does make him think. Okay. Wait, couldn't we just use this window? No, we couldn't. It's not sturdy enough. I mean, besides, look at it. Her holding the device is just going to actually put the clamp or the hook down onto the edge of the window. Ash is telling that, does that look sturdy? No, it doesn't. Exactly. Now, you do actually have where Deku, he does watch as Kendo does actually volunteer to try and throw it. Now, this is where Kendo shows to try to throw the device, or at least throw the large hook up towards the air and try and get it to try and stick on top of the school. As it does fail, 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 hit a zombie, fail, and over again. Now, they actually are starting to attract a little bit of a crowd. And Deku, he can see this. Now, you actually what they do go to pull up the hook this time. And they actually go to lean back inside the school as everyone they are talking. Kenoshi's very annoyed. She's getting pretty close. She can feel it. It has to be there. And it's just annoying her now. This being where she actually asks somebody if they can give it a shot. Now, you do actually have Jiro, who does talk about how there's too many around them down there. You're right about that, but we could just hook it right now. But then again, they could step on it. That's right. Well, Mamoru's go on stating, what if we try to work together on this? Right? Now, they actually do start to wait. They let an hour pass by as the zombies do start to at least stop paying attention and go to scramble away. Since a louder sound does attract their attention. Now, this would be where they actually go walking over to the window once again. As Kendo and Mama, they actually are looking outside of it as Kendo's going to actually get ready. Her actually leaning outwards more and going to actually toss it as hard as you can. Watching as it does go flying upwards and skid across the side of the building, before losing momentum and coming back down. Now, you actually have where Mama, she was actually going to talk about how she needs to try and throw it outwards a bit. Maybe that's her problem. Outwards? Why? The wind. The wind? Yeah, it's, well, moving it, pushing it towards the building. As that happened, it's scraping along the side. I didn't think of that. Really? I feel like you would have. Okay, let me give this a bit of another shot. Now, Kenoshi is actually going to try and throw it upwards and outwards this time, as it does go high up into the air and start to arc because of the wind, as it does actually clank off of a piece of metal, and they do hear that. Now, Kenoshi does get excited. However, it does go falling back down towards the ground, and she does have to reel it back up and try again. Now, you do actually have where they do hook it on the second try. And everyone is talking about how they need to get out of here now. This being where May actually does start to at least bring up a box of gloves and start to distribute them. Talking about how that metal going down is going to be really, really hot. And if anyone, they aren't prepared for it, they need to at least be ready to land. Bend at the knees, like lifting. Now, this would be where everybody, they're starting to see the problems in this plan a bit more. There are a few stories up. And the fact is, if they don't slow themselves down enough, this will be very bad. Now, we actually do have where Deku, he does go look down and see that some zombies are starting to actually approach the device May did make. They're about, 25, 30 feet away? Yards away? They need to hurry. Now, Deku actually is going to turn and grab the gloves, talking about how he can go down first. You sure, Midoriya? Yeah, I can. Trust me, it's only scary if you look down. Now, Deku, he would actually go to put on a pair of gloves and grab the metal wire, as he does just go to get ready. Okay, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Deku actually going to step forwards, as he does hold onto the wire for his dear life. Now, Deku goes moving down super fast. As we actually over Deku, he does go to look down his legs and go to at least try to bend them quickly. He needs to get ready. Okay. Now, Deku, he actually does go to land on his feet and then actually go to step backwards, falling over. As he does smash onto the ground and actually go to look around and then go to look up. It worked. Now, Deku does actually go back to turning his head. It worked. Crap. Now, Deku does quickly go to stand up. As he does, at least go to bring his hands up and wave them, as people do start to make their way down the line. Now, we actually do have where people do start to come down very quickly. You have Deku, Momo, Jiro, Denki, Kendo, Ochako, Monoma, Mei, Tokage, I think that's the right name, Kirishima, and then you actually have somebody who does go to come down. Tenya Ida. Now, Ida, he does calm down, and he does forget to follow the rules. Whenever he does calm down, he does calm down and land a bit hard on one of his legs, as he does hurt it, or at least fracture something. Now, the one that actually has happened, Ida is go falling down to the right, as Deku is going to look around. The zombies are literally right on top of them, as Kirishima is going to grab Ida by one of his arms, sending him back up as he is going to try and move, talking about how he needs to get the hell moving, and that they need to get out of here now. Now, this is where Ida he does start to move, as somebody do come up to the other side of Ida and grab him, as they do start to carry him away. Now, everybody they're trying to find out what exactly to do. They just got out of UA, but they didn't think this far ahead. They didn't understand what they need to do now. Now then, this is actually where Deku, he does actually turn and hear something, as we actually do have the parking lot of UA, where you can hear a gargled scream that sounds very loud. And Deku, he does actually see Present Mike. Now, Mike, he's currently screaming at other zombies. And yeah, he doesn't look too pretty. He's letting out some sort of garbled screams, and they're very frightening. In fact, Deku believes that because of the way his body might be reacting to these infection, he might have melted his vocal cords. Now, Deku is actually staring at Present Mike, as Mike actually is going to turn and look directly at Deku. Now, Deku he does realize exactly what's going on, as he does look around to see other infected individuals, as Deku is going to turn and follow back towards Class 1A, as they do slam through the security measures or through the gate and try to get ready. Now, the moment they actually get outside, they do look around. There's zombies all around the area, and if they are to get through this, they need to at least stay in a straight line. Now, we do actually have, let's just say Kendo, who she's holding up a pipe as she's running forwards, as everyone they do at least go to try and follow. Now, everyone they're just heading down the street. They need to find somewhere safe, somewhere to head to, somewhere to get into, some place to hide. Now, they do keep moving, and the zombies actually are starting to turn and take notice of the large group, as we actually do have where they do at least start to make their way into a store. And whenever they do get inside, Deku, he's actually starting to see a few things that he's noticing. The moment he did actually run inside the store, he did look around towards the ground, as he did notice that, well, yeah, there's a lot of blood. A lot of food and stuff has been taken from the shelves. And, well, the person who he believed was on the counter, their body's currently just lying there, and it doesn't look too pretty. This being where Deku, after everyone does get in behind and go to close and lock the door, they do start to at least try and get things easy, as people do start to try and move things in front of the windows and in front of the door. Now, this is actually where Deku does turn to see everyone do this. Him actually going to walk over and help Kirishima pick up something heavy, as they do put right in front of the door and then do start to stack stuff on top of it. Now, Deku actually start to grab the blinds and start to close them, as someone to see him do this. This being where Jiro should actually go to do the same thing, and everyone there just watching. As Deku and Jiro do go to step back away from the blinds, and Deku just turn and bring his finger up. Shh. What are you doing, Midori? Listen. I'm testing something out. What are you testing? Now, everybody do just sit there quiet and not moving. As the zombies, after a few minutes, some of them start to go away and leave. Now, everyone they do just look towards Midoriya. Nice thinking. When did you come up with that? That was a good idea, Midoriya. Yeah, good on you. Now, Deku does look towards everybody. Well, I sort of thought about it back at the school. With the grappling hook. Whenever there was a large or loud sound, they all got drawn towards that. So, it made me think. They're losing their intelligence, or they're not intelligent. They're following base instincts like actual zombies, right? Oh, so you just applied that logic to them? I did. I hope it worked. If not, we're at least trying to deal with some people trying to get in here. Now, everybody they do at least go to look around. As you do have where Kenosha's go to walk up towards something and go to grab a candy bar. As she has to immediately open it and go to start biting into it. Now, everyone they do look at her. As people do start talking about how she really shouldn't be doing that. She has to pay for that. Now, Maida's going to speak up. As she just talk about how they really aren't thinking ahead, are they? Everyone turning to her and watching as she does at least have an entire case of Hershey's in her hand. Her with the candy bar actually opened. And eating it, talking about how they need to stock up on supplies while they have the chance. What are you doing? Eating. I'm hungry. And you're eating chocolate? Chocolate helps keep my mind busy and make me stay awake. Besides, other than that, what else are we supposed to do? Now, I'm guessing you guys are all hungry anyways, right? So dig in. I don't think the guy over there would mind, really. Or he would. Now, everyone they do look towards the counter, where the guy's dead body is just slumped up against it. And it's just not a pretty sight. Now, this is where everyone they do at least start to get into some food. Eating some chips and just getting whatever they can. They're all starving. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing day. We'll catch you guys in the next part.